So I'm back here at my brick house, and this is the one, if you remember, that had the big water leak. And in that last video I did when I came here a couple weeks ago, I walked in the same area and got my feet absolutely soaked, but all good now. And I'll actually tell you a little story about this because it's something you could learn from and hopefully benefit from. And I'll give you all the details of the deal where we're at as I'm walking around the property here. So first of all, nice little tip when it comes to dealing with that leak in that that water situation. So at first I thought it was the responsibility of the county, but come to find out they sent their guy out and he said it actually was not their side. It was actually, let you see around the backyard here, the house is looking good, and I'll tell you about where we're at as far as this deal getting it closed or not getting it closed. Got a little bit of bad news on it, but I'll fill you in here in just a minute. But basically what the water company guy told me was that the leak was actually on our backflow preventer. So it was not on the city side of the water line, which means it's my baby. So when I spoke to the person in the office, they sent me to the guy who actually did the inspection for them, and I was actually able to talk to him on the phone. And I have a plumber, but to be honest with you, plumbers are like really expensive where I'm at. Like, you would think that they went to school to be doctors. And I'm checking my AC unit. I just don't like weeds in my AC unit. We're looking good here. Probably have to spray it next week. But anyways, plumbers are crazy expensive. Like, just to get them to come out here, it's probably cost me minimum $200, maybe $250, maybe even $300 to fix it. They probably want to upsell me for some other stuff, which I mean, it probably needs it. Not knocking plumbers. They do an awesome job, and I have some really good ones, but they're just expensive is the point. So anyways, when I was talking to the guy that was telling me that the problem is mine and not the water company's, I just asked him, I said, hey, do you know anyone who can fix that for me? And he's like, yeah, I do that kind of stuff on nights and the weekends. And I was like, well, that's good. How much would it cost me to get that done? He's like, well, probably $50. So I'm like, 50. I didn't say this out loud because I didn't want him to upcharge me, but I was thinking $50, that's a jackpot. I mean, I barely can get a plumber on the phone for $50. So anyways, that's the lesson, is when you have a problem like that, just kind of ask around. And maybe people who you don't expect, they might be able to get the job done for a fraction of the price. So literally just asking that one question to the guy who handles the water for the county saved me at least a couple $100. So nice tip there. And keep an eye on your houses, especially if you're somewhere it's warm. Actually, I just sprayed another one. You see a little bit of residual wetness there. And another wasp nest. I mean, the wasps love this house. Obviously, I don't want my potential buyer or buyer getting stung. So that's the tip for that. Now I'm gonna fill you in on where we're at as far as this deal. So the tip is, just to recap, ask. When you have a guy on the phone, like say you find out some bad news that it's gonna be your cost, ask if they have anybody they know who does that kind of stuff, how much they charge. Literally, it was probably 15% of what it would cost me to have a plumber come fix that same problem. See, it did take him a couple of days because he has a full-time job, but he came out here, got it fixed, and now I just hit his cash from here on the property. So he's happy he gets cash. I'm very happy because it cost me $50 when it probably should have cost me $300. All right, so that's that. Now we're out on this deal. So we're still hoping to close the end of October, and you'll probably be watching this video maybe after that time. I'm not sure when this will post. This will probably post in the next week or two, so it'll be pretty close to the time that we're supposed to close this deal. Buyers are still committed, but what's happened is they're getting a non-conventional type of loan, which means it's a unique situation, usually income driven or credit or something. I don't know what the challenge is with them. But the first appraisal came in, right at asking price, boom, we're good to go moving forward. I've done their list of things they wanted done, so that I'm not holding it up, they're not holding it up, everything's good. But then because it's a weird type of loan, the lender comes back and says we need a second appraisal. So that was dropped in my lap last week, about a week ago, when I was on vacation up in Napa, which we had a good time in Napa, lots of good wine, lots of really cool wineries up there. That's a different story, different channel. I have that channel. That's a different spot to talk about than here. So anyways, they are demanding we do a second appraisal. So the appraisal last week just starts really questioning everything. Why did you buy it so cheap? What work did you do for that? And I spent some money on this house. I probably spent 50 to 60,000 on this house. It's actually the house I'm struggling to break even. I don't break even very often. I don't lose money very often in real estate. I mean, very, very frequently do I lose money in real estate. This is when I'm struggling to break even on because the market dropped 10%. If you watch some of the other videos about my brick house, you'll see that. But we have to have a second appraisal. The appraiser called, just wearing my real estate agent out. The house is looking good. So I like to walk these houses, make sure nothing weird is going on. Everything looks good. I'll go out and pick a few weeks before I head off to my next appointment. It's another house. Somebody called me on. I'm gonna meet the lady there, her and her husband, make them an offer here on this house. I just left one I made another video on that I just got under contract. So check out my other videos to see some of the other deals I got going. I try and give you real world stuff. This is me 26 years in, several thousand units I've bought and sold. Everything from houses, apartment complex, mobile home parks, shopping centers. I've done it all pretty much. So just sharing what it's like to be a real estate agent with, real estate investor with you. But anyways, wait on the second appraisal. It's supposed to be done tomorrow. So hopefully it comes in at value. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem. So in next week's video, I either have some good news for you or some bad news. So just tune in, subscribe if you're not already, and I appreciate your support. Any questions or comments? I try and read them all. It may take me a couple of days to get to it, but let me know what your thoughts are on this deal or any of the other ones I have or any questions you have about real estate. All right, that's all. We'll see you at the next house.